Hi, everyone. Good evening or good day, depending on where you're coming from. I am really pleased to tell you who my guest is today. I've been looking forward to talk to her for a long time. Most of you probably know her. She goes by name AuditLA online, and she has been working with anti-Scientology activism since last end of last year, I think. But we'll hear a little bit more about that in a second. Because we haven't met before, I wanted to have someone else to describe her for you guys also. So I'm just gonna read a little note here that I have got from Fat Grammy, also known as Mona. And she says that the audit has brought her life experiences, past trials and tribulations to guide her emotions. Audit leads by example. She's very compassionate, caring, and loving for others, no matter what their situation happens to be. If I were in trouble, I know I would call to get wisdom and guidance. She's truly a sister. Welcome, Audit LA.
Oh, that's so you're gonna make me cry with that. You're gonna bring me on in tears. Oh man, I love and it's like ditto for Mona. Mona's amazing.
Yeah,
Love
she's
her.
lovely. She's
Yes, like
lovely.
I feel like I met a sister and through all this, if nothing else. She's amazing.
Yeah, that is the bonus with all of this is making these new connections and friendships with people you never thought you would have met otherwise.
Absolutely. And for a common cause and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I only have prepared just few questions for you, and of course the chat can also write their questions if they have anything for you. But I just wanted to, get to know you a little bit more. If you can just tell a little bit about yourself.
Um yeah, sorry. I'm hearing like background like reverb. But I don't know what to say. I started last year. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of I was watching Streets because I followed him as Film the Police for a long time, and I was and I got curious, and I was following Jessica too, just on TikTok randomly, and I saw this
Mm-hmm.
going on down there, and I was like, I knew about Scientology, because like just and what I, but that's not the question. Sorry, let me go back to you. That's not what you're asking.
Yeah.
You're asking about
About
me.
you personally, we
Yes,
can
I
get to that in a second.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard. I don't like. It's hard for me to talk about myself. I've
Yeah.
been in a community activist, or working in my community for a long time. Just involved. I always was like to be involved with the neighborhood council systems and just government systems and helping to advocate for people in my community.
Mm.
And I cherish that and I love it. And got to help a few people. Got to meet a lot of great people, and and learn how the system works. As far as me personally, I don't know. You could ask questions. I don't know what you want to know, but I just, I'm a transplant out here. I'm from the, back east. You know, um, I had a good career, but now I'm here. I'm disabled. Everyone knows I'm, I have disability, but I try not to let that hold me back.
Yeah.
There's limitations, and then there's that, we have, and then there's the limitations that we put on ourselves. And
Mm.
I try not to put any on myself. And just live life and just do what we have to do. uh, You know, to be what we need to do in this world, because we only get one shot at it. In my opinion, I feel we only get one shot, and we should live our best life. And I don't know. I just love family, pets. I'm an animal act. I love animals. I think I know everyone by their animals.
Yeah.
I don't know my neighbors' names, but I know their animals' names, and they know me, and like, stuff like that. I try to be an activist and help with the ADA community. That's where I started off with those issues, because the
Yeah.
city is horrible with the ADA. But then what happened is just a lot of unhoused situations would come up, and people, asking for help. So I was able to get into that arena a little bit and help people. And, you know, I don't know if there's anything else you want to know. I have a hard time talking about myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wasn't going to ask your social security number. I just wanted to hear a
I
little
know.
bit. I could hear from the accent that you're not originally from LA, and
I, yeah,
yeah,
I'm from back
but
east. I'm a Jersey girl. Yeah, from Jersey. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
okay,
yeah.
okay, and of course your love of animals also. That's kind of like when you watch through your streams, it comes quite obvious that you're yeah, really a true friend of pets, and you even rescued a cat once, didn't
Yeah,
you?
a
Like
pregnant
recently.
cat. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
How is she doing?
She's good. I'm going to be posting pictures because I just got updated pictures. She's doing great. She had 6 babies, but 3 didn't survive. But the 3 survived. They're so cute.
No.
So I'll be posting the pictures because I know that a lot of people are invested in that story. And right now they're keeping the 3 babies too. So it's like she went from 0 to 4 cats overnight.
Yeah.
And but I was grateful because I couldn't. I have some. I couldn't take any more, especially with the chair is just too many like underfoot. So with babies, so
Yeah, but there was something I thought that you must have a special connection with animals also, because it was a pregnant cat that was loose on the street and you could just carry her on your lap all the way from the city back home. She knew she was safe with you. I
and
mean,
that freak bike guy was like shocked because how come she didn't try to run away or
yeah,
he couldn't get over it. I was like I don't know, but
yeah,
she was just like she like wanted to be there and just knew
yeah,
she was helped.
yeah.
And now
She
I
knew she
haven't.
found the guardian angel there with you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now I'll be
So then,
announcing. I'm sorry.
no, just continue.
No, now I'll be like I'm going to be posting too about because I don't know if anyone's following about the lady I work with like well that I'm with City Hall with her animal situation. She
Mm,
just got her back, but it turns out we're going to have to just until January try to find someone that can foster her cat Salem, and so she's
yeah.
going through like a horrible situation. So there'll be more posted about animals.
Yeah, yeah, and I have absolutely nothing against that. As long as everything has a happy ending, I'm good for it. But yeah, so then we can basically get to the activism part. You started a little bit to tell that you saw streets uh, online with his film The Police, and
Mhm.
Jessica showed up at the testing center, and you were one of the first ones to show up as well, weren't you?
I was very close to being. I mean, I think a few of them started first. I started like probably within. I'm going to say within the first 2 weeks. But I was
Mm-hmm.
very quiet. I was not streaming. I had no intentions of streaming. I never wanted. I don't like being on camera. It's like
Mm.
I like being behind the camera. Like this all. It makes me nervous to be on camera. I want to be behind it because I was doing TikTok and stuff, and but I wanted to, and I was trying to. I wanted to create shorts or create little videos. Like I was more like the creative end. But I went
Yeah.
down there and I'm like, because I'm very interested in law. I just became a paralegal. I'm in the process of getting certified.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations.
thank you. And yeah, because I had my career, but now, but then I want to do things beyond just, what I mean? So anyway, but I also went to film school like a few years back, maybe about
Ah,
6 years ago
okay.
for editing to learn how to edit, and so I was interested, but I went down there and because I'm like this was, and I also love the law. I love anything constitutional, all that stuff. So I'm like, this was a really interesting question. I said, you're dealing with First Amendment right, freedom of religion, okay, First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom of protest, like all these different freedoms, colliding at one place. So I was really
Mm,
interested in that, and seeing how that would work out. But then when I got down there, I met a few people were joining, but I was one of the first. I think I was the first person to actually interview Laura, and
yeah,
then Serge. I believe I was the first one because I'm always curious with people. I love people more than anything, and I'm always interested in everybody, and I want to hear everyone's story. Like I said, I don't like to be the talker. I want to hear what they have to say,
yeah.
and so I got to talk to them, and they both like instantly. I instantly knew that this was beyond just a First Amendment auditing type of situation. This was something that had to be fought. Like they convinced me, both of them, in one interview that
Mm,
this has to become like a life mission. Like we
yeah,
have to help these kids. We have to. This is so wrong. And I've had interactions with Scientology. I don't know if you want me to get into that after, but
for
but then,
sure.
and
For
that's what
sure.
started for, then I said, okay, but then I'm like, I'm going to have to, you have to stream when you're doing it because you realize down there, there's like a safety, it's documenting everything. So you have to document, like if you're not streaming, you're not going to be able to get interviews or talk to people, but there's also
Mm,
for your safety and security, and there's
yeah,
also for evidentiary. So I knew I had to become a streamer, but if you notice, I'm a streamer that my camera's never on me. It's always outward. So I kind of keep myself like in my comfort zone. Because when I turn the camera on me, it's like, oh, I feel weird. It's not
yeah,
comfortable. So I'm always, so people are always like, well, but, so I ended up becoming a streamer, but an accidental one. It was never my intention, you
yeah,
know. Um,
yeah. I think that's the same story for most of us, and it's just the kind of obstacle to get over. Myself, I wasn't even, publicly speaking before, never mind show my face on the camera. So you can really see the evolution in life, in real life, also of how you started. Because I remember you were telling people, don't point your phone at me when you were talking and
Yeah,
things like
yeah, I'd be
that.
like, please, like no. I was like, and I also at the time, I mean, I'm no longer involved on councils. It's like I guess certain opposition, they fair game you and stuff. I said it's just better if I remove myself from that for their sake.
Yeah.
But I'm very big on ethics, and so I was always because if I'm a public person, I mean, I'm on a council. I wanted to make sure I don't cross any lines. So that,
Yeah.
so I knew I could do it as a private person, absolutely could. But
Hmm.
that's why I went through every, try to separate the two completely because it gets really confusing when you're, it'd be like if somebody, like if Streets was, or any of these people were city employees, you always have to worry about conflict of interest. And I don't want any conflicts of interest, and
Hmm.
then it's easier now though, because now I'm just back to being a completely private citizen.
Yeah, yeah. And then regarding evolution, just a personal evolution, but also the protesting, you have also changed a little bit your approach throughout this year of how do you document things and how to make a change in the in the movement against Scientology, and attended a lot of these meetings, also representing some Scientology matters as well, right?
Yeah, well, what happened with that is this because that's just I was doing the meetings for like a long time, but I don't think people didn't really realize it. But it's just because that's
Mm,
my arena. That's my comfort zone. That's the world I know. I
mm,
understand the councils, the neighborhood councils. That's my arena. So I knew for me, that's where the battle. And I also used to be affiliated with LAPD and stuff. So I know with the CPAP systems, I know I understand that whole world.
yeah.
And so the protesting part, I know it was very important. We were down there at Hollywood Boulevard and everything, but it's not my forte. I don't feel comfortable with it. It's just not really me. Like I felt that I really need to be true to myself. I think everyone needs to figure out who they are, be true to
Mm,
that, and then and act accordingly. And so I said, you know what, let me get into my world, what's comfortable for me. And so I started with like the neighborhood council meetings for the areas, and then the CPAPs, they try to hide them. LAPD does not really want anyone to know about the CPAP.
can
So
you just shortly explain what CPAP is? Well, what does the name mean?
sure. Okay. CPAP stands for Community Police Advisory Board. And what it is that LAPD, and I think it was after, oh, I don't know if it was the Rodney King case. It was after some, I believe it was the Rodney King case. They were kind of forced to every division start a CPAP. And what it
Hmm.
is that you become a volunteer for LAPD. You had to go through a process, background check, fingerprinting. You had to be vetted. And then if they accept you to be on the CPAB, you're in an advisory position for the police. So I was on a CPAB, and that's where I was introduced to Scientology, but I'll get to that in a minute. But
Yeah.
and so basically it's community people who are active, activists in their community. They get there, it's like you saw the meeting, right, with DOA, that and then I didn't film the one I did with Streets. Neither of us filmed that one at Hollywood. But basically it's the police senior lead officers, the captain, and then you have the president of the civilian side of it, the citizen side of it, and then all the members of the citizens, however many members they have. And they come and get meetings. And what's supposed to happen is that all the senior lead officers are supposed to give what's going on in their areas, and let the community know about what crime is going up or down, what's going on. And then the community advisors they're supposed to take that information back to their communities and, with their
Hmm.
organizations. And it's called community policing. It was a very big thing in LAPDs trying to get community policing because they
Yeah.
realized that they, as big as the city is, they can't arrest their way out of every situation. So they, for
Thank
better or
God
for
for
worse,
that.
right. So, right, except for if you're a Scientology protester, then they can. I
Yeah.
guess they
Yeah.
feel they can. But
Yeah.
and so then the part that I didn't like is that the community then is supposed to be advising the police, on what the community wants and what their issues are.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like to me, and funny, going to these other two meetings, it was the same in theirs too. It's more like it's supposed to be like a cheerleading squad. Like you were supposed to hear from the police, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to hear from us unless it's rah rah, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to hear the truth or real issues, and that's where I got my discontent with CPAB, and it has to do with Scientology. So it's maybe the
Yeah.
good segue if you want me to go there.
Yeah, just one
Sure.
little question here in between is just I hate to bring it up always, but is there also money involved with this board with the local community? Are they getting paid something for being part of the board?
Okay, for neighborhood council, no. See, that's and CPAB, no.
Okay.
I can explain it real quick. The neighborhood council is just people from the community. They want to get involved, and so they have, it's under the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. If anyone wants to, that's who oversees them, and then the board of neighborhood councils oversees all that. And the neighborhood councils came about because the city, the valley wanted to secede from LA City,
Mm,
and they didn't want that, so they made this compromise. They created 99 neighborhood councils, and they put like, whatever budget, like right now I think it's 35,000 a year, so each
mm,
community can kind of get some money and do what they want to do within their community, and then they feed back their information, like they're like the conduit to the city council to say, hey, our community wants this, our community doesn't want this, through CISs, which Henry has been, promoting that process, because
yeah.
it is very important. But and then with CPAP, no, they do not get paid either. These are all volunteers. You become an LAPD volunteer. But you do have to be vetted, but you are not paid. You don't get
Okay.
paid until you're at the, city council gets paid, and even no commissions except for public works gets paid. So even
Yeah.
the police commissioners not paid. None of these commissions are paid except for public works.
Yeah. Okay. But then maybe, yeah, my only comment would be that to be involved with this type of a board, it would be a genuine interest, or if you would like to infiltrate the community some way, and you can continue with that.
Either genuine interest, okay, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
say that, infiltration,
Mm-hmm.
or there's a third one. Some people want to make connections, because I've seen that too, where people get in there and they work their way up using those
Yeah.
connections
Yes.
to
Yes.
paid to good paid. And I have examples of that for another day.
Yeah.
But if we want to talk about infiltration part,
Mm-hmm.
that's what
Absolutely.
got right. That's what got me upset a little bit, because back when I was on CPAB, they opened, the Scientology, two people, like the head, the um president, first and second in control, in charge of that org, came and was on. They joined the CPAP, but they do not join as themselves, and they're the only people that don't join as themselves. Like they use their name, but
Mm-hmm.
they are there absolutely as representations of Scientology.
Yeah.
And she said, this is our job to do this. Like, we're supposed to be on councils and boards, and that's our job to do that. And I'm like,
Straight from the
really?
horse's mouth.
Yeah, and right, straight from the horse's mouth. And then and so then I'm like, that is odd, because like you'll see, like on the CPAPs, because you see like, who's the community leaders. You're going to have the local pastor, the local maybe imam, or the local rabbi, or different, so
Mm,
but they're there as themselves. They happen to be, a pastor or an imam or a rabbi, but they're
mm,
not there to represent,
mm.
and they're there to represent their community, but
Yeah.
Scientology is different. They're like, you can remove our name from it. This is Scientology's seat at this table.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't, and then I started seeing things like, all of a sudden because they do all these like community cleanups. They get involved, and we're going to do this and that. And that sounds great. That's why the cops love them,
Mm,
they
mm.
have all this, we're going to give the solution. We have the tools, and we're going to have all these people, so of course the cops love Scientology,
Yeah.
you know,
Of course.
it's not just the money, but then they would give their buildings. Sorry for the planes. They would
It's
give their
fine.
buildings, but believe me, it's a lot less than my dogs would be. But
Yeah.
they they were giving their buildings, and everything they needed. And they were having a community event. It was for neighborhood emergency preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an event with all these different leaders, and it was a huge event. And I was part of that, to do that, because I was on that committee with CPAP. And I'm like, and I went to the captain, who's now like a deputy chief, and he avoids me every time he sees me, but I know he knows who I am, because I mean, for good or worse, it's hard to, like, there's not too many people that look like me out there, it's like, he knows who I am, but he's just, like, trying to avoid me because he's mad, because, but anyway, so I went to him and I said, I'm getting a lot of feedback from the community, that from my, that, because people know, like, they know that you're the person on CPAC. They know you're on the, so a lot of people will reach out to you. And they were flat out upset about this event being held at Scientology. And they're like, we don't want to go if it's there. We believe it's a cult, and, and whatever. And it was such a lot of people that I went to him. He's like, and then other people too in the community, they were going to him saying, look, we're getting really bad feedback about the Scientology. Like, let's find another location. He's like, no, this is a state of the art location. It's, it's perfect. It's free. They're giving it to for free. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, find something else free. Like, we'll let us
Mm.
handle it. And he's like, I don't want to hear another word about it. And he shut us down and told us to shut up, basically, and so they had the event there, and I did go. So I got to go inside, and of course, it's beautiful. It's lovely. It's state of the art, but it's also
Which
creepy.
location? Sorry, which location was
Sure.
that?
No, the North Hollywood one.
Yeah. Okay.
And because it's a rather new one. It's only been, and so they were new, and they still have, they just recently this year, a few months ago, I filmed where they were having an event like, on their property for the police and stuff. And that's part of why I was getting really upset and want to go, I'm like, police, like, actually go to the police commission meetings and actually go to this and try to break this up, because this was years ago. I'm talking maybe 6 years ago that I
Okay.
that I had that. And I'm like, it's just getting now, but now that I know about Scientology, like, I didn't even know about Scientology back then. I just knew there was something off and wrong,
Yeah.
and how they were I felt like they were infiltrating, and I didn't think it was right that they were like trying to have so much control. I saw
Mm.
it happening, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what I knew now. I wish I had. I would have really
Yeah.
been, but and so that eventually, that stuck with me. And then, and then when it's like the all this First Amendment auditor stuff coming through,
Mhm.
I really got involved watching that. And I wasn't out filming or doing any of it, but I really got, and I started seeing, like, even my own division, they actually had to pay out $2 million for a case of violating somebody's rights. I'm like, this is something not right here. And but the CPAT, they didn't. No one wanted to hear. Like, they just, what I mean. They don't want to hear. It's one way street. If you're not a cheerleader, then you're a
Yeah.
problem. So I
Yeah.
left completely. I said, I said, I think I can advocate more from the outside than the inside,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's why I left that. But I still stayed within the NC system.
Yeah.
And, but I wasn't advocating against Scientology at that point, but now I am.
Yeah.
But the only thing on that, I can't I can't advocate, um, like, say if I was on the, whatever, you can't advocate, you can't go speak up when you're on the council for something, like, you can't. So I'm better off maybe in that way too, being not on it, because now I can advocate to my council or whatever, like, because otherwise I had to recuse myself. Anything with Scientology, I would have to recuse myself. So,
Yeah.
so, I don't know. I mean, a part of me, I love it so much, I may end up going back, but, but that's how, I'm sorry, I'll stop there.
Yeah. Okay. So currently, there's at least, you said there's two known Scientologists, at least on these CPAP groups, right?
Oh no, there's
Or
more than that. Those two are just on the one, the North Hollywood. But Janet, I know for sure Janet, and I believe Parker Osmond are
okay.
on, because I've seen Janet at both the what's the Northeast Division and Hollywood Division. She's on
Okay.
both, like, she's on two. But then the
Okay.
one who is on the North Hollywood one, I believe, is also very high up on the some other, there's other I can't think of, the Chamber of Commerce. And
Yeah.
then the East Hollywood bid is, which is like a form of like a Chamber of Commerce for East Hollywood, has Susanna Furios, who's also a Scientologist, up on their board. So that's what
Okay.
they do. They infiltrate boards, and then they have influence.
Yeah.
you know.
And and just don't share, of course, too much, but I guess this information has been given to you by someone who knows the background of these people, or how did you come about finding out about, for example, Janet?
Oh, because no, I found out. Well, I knew they were involved with CPAP because through my CPRA request, I
Yeah,
see them on the list. Like, so I knew they were involved. But then when I went to the north. I knew they were with the Northeast Division, but I went to the meeting and she was there. But I know
yeah,
Parker's involved because he's on the email listing for them.
okay,
And
yeah,
so I haven't seen him there, but he's involved with the emailing. And then with the Hollywood division, I went to the, and so I was not expecting her to be a part of that one, but she was there,
yeah,
and she was shocked to see me. And I'm
yeah,
sure they're probably on most or if not all of them,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that needs to be definitely called out, because I would assume that is not the purpose, that you have the same people in every single CPAP group. You should have different representatives for different areas, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think at this point, this is what I've been saying at the, because hi guys, I'm trying to go over here as they're getting a little noisy. Uh, they, I am trying, like, there's a conflict of interest, and that's what I'm at saying. Because right now, I said, they're under protest. That there's that we have footage after footage, and that's why this is so great. We have
Mm,
so much footage of officers from these divisions acting on behest of Scientology.
yeah.
And I said, so you're showing favoritism out there in the field, but
Mm,
then they have a seat at the table, but we don't.
mm,
It's unfair. They should be removed until this whole thing is resolved,
yeah.
and to make sure there's been no undue influence of them. So that's why I'm pushing. If they haven't, if it'd be different if they were not retaliating, if they were not abusing, if they were just okay, people are protesting and they're just like, like the police have protesters. I said we protest, people protest the police. You
Mm,
guys don't go out and fair game people. You just,
no.
okay, it's just part of life. Like, and I said, we are protesting a cult organization, but people like Janet are taking it personal, and they are personally fair gaming those who are doing it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
making it personal. I said, at that point, then we can go after them personally,
Yeah.
legally. I'm not talking about anything illegal,
Yeah.
but if you're targeting me for fair gaming, Janet, then I have a right to see, okay, well, why do you belong on a CPAB influencing the police who are
Mm,
coming and arresting your problem? You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And there, you actually have some kind of documentation for it, that Janet has been involved with fair gaming you as well. Is that correct?
Well, I have, I don't have, I mean, with like, I just, when it comes to her, like I was saying, she's the handler,
Mm,
excuse me, that's because you have to look at patterns.
yeah.
And I see patterns, and it's beyond coincidence.
Yeah.
And if you think it's just a coincidence that person's targeting me, but I've had other fair game stuff. I can't prove it's her, but
Yeah.
no one else makes sense. But I do have evidence from CPR requests of her and others in Scientology trying to influence the city attorney, Bureau of Street Services, LAPD, um, for their own benefit. So yeah, I have a lot of CPRA
Yeah. I
evidence
wanted
of
to
that.
pop out this comment because Lara is actually here,
Oh, good. I
and we
can't
were.
see the chat, so
Yeah, it's fine. I just popped it on the screen. She's saying, "I'm so glad I caught this," and we were just
oh,
talking about you and
yeah,
how
I
you were.
absolutely love Laura FM.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's what got me seriously, because I met her before Surge,
Yeah.
and I instantly knew the first time I met her that this is legit. Like, her, what she's saying is true. It's
Yeah.
legitimate. I believed her 100%.
Yes.
And I started. I wanted to get involved, and then then Surge was just like, "Wait, there's two now, saying the
Yeah.
same thing, so articulate." And it's like I believe both of them 100%. And
Yeah.
then that led to me researching, and the more, it's like, wait, there's hundreds saying the same thing. Like, come on, people,
Thousands. Thousands.
thousands. But as I
Yeah.
was digging through, I'm like, here's more, here's some, and they're all saying the same thing. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Because I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but I'm located in Denmark, and Denmark is the European headquarter for Scientology.
Oh, I
And
didn't
we
know that.
have we have been having this mini Scientology universe here since I think the 60s. So we have everything the same as in the States. So we have our own AOSH EU location, which is the European headquarters. Then we have the local organization. We have continental liaison office. We have our own printing. So I think it's in Los Angeles. You have these British publications.
Well, I know they excuse me, guys, because I've been dealing with the asthma, so
yeah,
you have to forgive me if I'm.
yeah.
But yes, we have. I know we have the author services too, which is also on Hollywood Boulevard, a little bit further down.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they have Bridge publication. Yeah.
Yeah, so but that's the one that is taking care of publications, printing for all the Americas, basically. And here we have the same for basically all of Europe and I think part of Africa as well. And we have about 700 Sea Org members in Denmark, and we are less than 6 million people.
Wow, wow. I don't know how many they have here. I'm not good with the nuts and bolts of that stuff, the details, But that's crazy. I'm just taking a drink because I don't want to start coughing.
Yeah, of course. I can just talk a little bit in the meantime, and because I kind of want to also talk about the city hall. I put on the thumbnail picture of you next to the city hall because I often say in the chat, whether it's yours or someone else, that you should be crowned the Queen of Los Angeles because when you're in city hall, I'm always so impressed with the meetings, how you compose yourself, how well you are, making connections with the different authorities, whether it's the police, just guarding the public or the local community meetings or whatever it is. You seem to really build good relationships with people, and then the rest of us can just call in and behave very naughty.
I love that. That's why I'm right, because I'm like there, and it's like I love it. Right, like say if Amy or you anyone calling, you can yell at them, and it's like I'm there like yeah. I know. And when Gonzo was there in LA, she kind of saw it too, because when you're there, you kind of have to, because you have to build kind of relationships. Because for me, the thing is, I don't want to come in and just be the one. I want them to actually hear me and listen to me. And I know it's not going to take overnight. It's going to take a long time, and it takes. And I think a lot of what prepared me was for 10 years of being involved with, local, whether it's the councils or, all these things. And you kind of learn how you have to build relationships. You want people you may not agree with or like too much or, or whatever you could be, but you have to kind of at times. And for me, that's the approach I wanted to take, and then people can come in and just come in. Like I love DOA comes in and yells at them and puts them, I love it. Like that's what's needed. But then that may not be sustainable for like the long game. There's a short term goals and then there's the long game. And so I decided to be part of the long game because I'm like, this is where I need to be.
Of course, and there's a history. They know that you're not just a gimmick who is showing up to film yourself at a meeting and trying to gain some type of notoriety. You've been there for years, and you'll be there for years to come, participating in whatever is regarding the community. So it's totally different type of approach as well.
And some of them know me. Like some of the people know me, and I'm like. But they know that they don't because there's people Duarte I've known for a few years. There's a few others that they don't want to interfere, and because they understand I'm trying to be, it's separate. It's not part of my. I can't combine the two because it'd be a conflict of interest, and so they realize it. So they just don't say anything. But there's people there that they know who I am.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the public works meeting because these planters, was it in May or June when they showed up on Elvin Hubbard Way?
Okay. Well, I know I think June 1st was the beginning of the encampment.
Yes.
And I know that Mona and I have been going to these meetings since June, but I thought the planners came in June, but I've been told that it may have been August, but for me, it didn't seem so. Maybe we started off with just the street closures, so I'm like a little foggy on that. And so but I think the planners started coming early, but it grew to be bigger and bigger. It's something that and there was cement, there were cement bags, but but regardless, and someone sent me an article because there was just down the street on Sunset planters that the city they not only demanded that they be removed, the city actually removed them.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to fill in anyone who is not aware of the situation, the Scientology basically put out these very large planters around the Blue Building. That is, first of all, making it difficult for handicapped to be able to move around the pavement there. And also, when they have a street closure, it's also one of the violations of the fireways, because there's basically no way to get into the locations on the road. And the public works meetings, is it 3 times a week, or how often?
Now it is. It used to be
Yeah.
twice, but they just increased it to 3.
Yeah. So basically, Mona, Fred, Grammy, and Audit started to call, or you were present there, of course.
No, it started with me calling.
Okay.
I didn't go in person until I got sick and tired of, because they now we're on a third president, but we were on the second president, Miss Villegas, and I'm like, you know what? I always say shenanigans. I said it's too. I want to go in person,
Yeah.
and when you go in because when you go in person, they behave differently.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, you were calling, and Mona was calling in the start,
Mhm.
and now we are kind of a group of people participating all of these meetings, and you are. After they changed the rules, you're allowed to have 1 minute public general comment in the start of the meeting to the public works.
Yeah.
So
I feel
yeah,
bad. Like I feel in a way I feel bad because I feel like we broke the system for everyone, because they weren't doing that, but because they want, and it's a shame because they're the only paid commission. They should be able to sit there and let the public speak.
yes,
So that was their form of taking control back, I guess. But
yeah,
I'm fighting that too. I actually put in sorry, playing. I actually put in a notice to the city that they're violating our rights with, because like also like if you want to do a multi-topic, you had to do it before, but if you want
yeah.
to speak after the presenter, you only get 1 minute, so you lose 2 minutes. Like it's so random and ridiculous that.
Yeah, and as an outsider, I find it a bit difficult reading these agendas. What if you don't fully understand, for example, the agenda matter, and you would like to first hear the presentation and them talking about it before giving your comment? You don't get an opportunity for that. You need to give your comment beforehand as well.
Exactly. Or if you do it after, they do allow you, but then you can only do it for one, and then you lose your other 2 minutes, and that's not
Yeah,
fair. See, in the
yeah,
neighborhood council system, it's always after, always,
mm,
and that's how I've always known. With the
yeah,
city council, and I said this to them. I said, all right, with the city council and the police commission, they do, and fire commission, whatever, but they do it first, which doesn't make sense to me. But you can kind of make sense when it comes with city council and police commission because there's so many people that
yeah,
want a chance to speak and they need to kind of control it. But the
yes,
public works. I mean, if it wasn't for us, they have nobody. Like we're
yeah.
the only ones that make their job interesting because we're the only people that show up, except for maybe one every month or two.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly, exactly. And this is actually something I wanted to ask you, because the reason why I originally started to call was that I found it a little bit sometimes sad that there was only few people calling in, and Henry was also doing a live, and he was really trying to encourage people to call in. So I just thought, okay, I'll ask him, is it okay to call from anywhere? And he said, yeah, that's fine. And I
Yeah,
thought,
why
okay,
not?
yeah. So then I called in the first time, and it was a little bit difficult because I felt like this should absolutely not be any of my business, even though I think it's a little bit is, but but it got really easy after that, and it was actually really nice that even though sometimes you are not really feeling like people are listening to you, at least you get to have your say. And I wanted to do it also to show other people that you can do it no matter where you are. And my question is a little bit in regards of that. Would it be great if more people would get involved with these meetings and call in?
Yes, and what with the caveat, okay? Because now
Hmm.
they changed the rules, so they're giving maximum stuff. So right now we're at the maximum of like only 10 people can do it because it's only 10 minutes of public comment.
Yeah,
So we have 10. So I don't know if they give preference to people who are there. I believe they do. So if I'm there, but the problem with the police commission, and it's kind
Yeah.
of funny because there'd be times, and I don't care. Like if one of you guys get it and I don't, even though I'm like local, it's like that's fine because I know you're going to be speaking on, our behalf. But it's just like so that's like the balancing act. So yes, absolutely call in. And if we
Yeah.
get bumped, that's fine. I don't care. Like I don't care. But it's just I think it's unfair that they limit it. But
Yeah.
it's that juggling of, but I'm like sworn, but especially like really, really, we really need it with the public works. I don't care.
Yeah.
We need 10 people every week.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
But
Because that was my feeling as well, that we need more people. But of course, I don't want to encourage if it feels like it's taking away from someone else's opportunity to talk. But I think right now the situation is that they would have more time for public comments there than what there is callers at the moment.
and we need to push for it. But see, with the police
Yeah.
one, because I know Mona and I we used to laugh because like sometimes she'll get called, sometimes I'll get called.
Mm,
Sometimes we both get called, and I think there was a couple times where neither of us got called.
yeah.
And so there's just that juggle, but it doesn't mean don't call, don't try, because it really doesn't matter as long as somebody, if there's somebody speaking up on these, because like I may have one angle and somebody else may have like you and Amy, like, like even, like you guys, I know you're both like, you said you're so like kind of shy at the beginning, but you guys are like
Mm.
nailing, you guys are doing amazing, so
Oh,
strong.
thank
And I
you.
love, so you see that evolution. So I would say, I want people to call in and I'll gladly shut up and stand back because I am a big encourager of everyone finding their voice.
Yeah.
Whether it's with this fight here in LA or even in your own local, like go to, I'm trying to encourage everyone, go to your local, your own government too,
Yeah.
and get involved and have a voice, whether it's Scientology related or not. Like
Yeah.
I have pushed to get things done here that has nothing to do with Scientology, but it made a
Yeah.
difference in the community.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I want everyone to go to meetings. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So basically, you are almost always live when these meetings are going on. And then Mona Fat Grammy, she's always attending from home to any meeting that she can call into, or anyone from remotely can connect to. Uh, and she's often or usually always sharing the link if anyone wants to call in. So, I mean, if you feel a bit, disencouraged at this time, just try and follow one of the lives and just hear what happens over there. You don't need to call the first time, and you can, have a little bit of a hear what other people are saying and, prepare something for going forward. It's 1 minute, and it stings a
exactly.
lot less than a vaccination, for example.
Can I interject this too?
Yeah,
Like for people who want to get started, because people have asked me, how do I get started? I'm nervous. I
yeah,
said, even you don't have to, because it's like, oh, well, either some people say a minute seems like forever or a minute seems like no time.
yeah,
It's, whatever. But like, even if you just get on and
yeah,
say, you know what, I agree with everyone who spoke, thus far about, what's going on with Scientology. I just
yeah,
want to let you know, I agree. I want you to do something about it. I yield back the rest of my time. That's
yeah,
not that hard. Write it. That's just like a couple sentences. You can write it down, read it, and be done with it. But
yeah,
then, like you said, and yours, like that. Once you do, it's like, wow, this is, what I mean. And then you start
yeah,
little by little, and that's like me. Like, the people like, how do you do that? It's like, well, I've been doing this for 10 years, not on this topic, but
yeah,
I've been for 10 years going up and speaking at, meetings, whether I'm, on a board or even not. I would speak, like I've been speaking, public speaking for years now. So it's just,
yeah,
it gets easier, but you just have to start. And I want everyone, I want every single person, whether it's these meetings or other meetings, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, and on Fat Grammys Live, we have such a great community. We're always cheering each other on over there, and before the meeting starts, we're excited who gets to speak and when, and it's just a great fun. The community and the LAPD commissioner meeting. I think that's something that anyone could call in whenever, because we are fighting against Batman over there for our turn to speak. So the
Yeah,
more of
that's it, right? You're fighting. I know. Was he with the LAPD commissioner? Because there's so many people that want
yeah,
to. It's really hard to get the slot. So that's why I'm saying that's the caveat. Yeah, everyone call, but you may be sitting there for a long time and not be
yeah,
called, or But
yeah,
as when it comes to Fat Grammy's lives, like I'm always she has the morning, and I'm either always like on my way, like on a rush, or I'm live streaming, so I can't be a part of it. But no,
yeah.
to everyone in Fat Grammy's live, I love you guys, and I love that she's doing that. I'm so glad she's doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
Oh, she wants me. She wants. Maybe you can explain Batman, because that might did not open to everyone. Can you tell a little bit
Batman.
about Batman?
F-bomb guy is his other name.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of different interesting characters that
Mm,
that attend these meetings, for whatever reason. But he's somebody who at heart is a good guy. I think, from
yeah.
what I think he really cares about the people and everything. But he's somebody who's very bitter about what's happened to him. He
Mm,
was very much, I believe, from what I still want to get more of this story, but I know he's had a traumatic brain injury. He was
mm,
injured in some kind of traumatic brain injury, and because of that, he basically lost everything because of the city, and there wasn't the help. So he's very angry about that,
yeah. Yeah.
and so he does. And then he's also, I guess, somebody, like, I know I get it. A lot of the First Amendment people, they want to they push the limits, and he wants to push the
Mm,
limits beyond what, and in my opinion is like, just because you don't have to always you don't have to push the limits that far. You can
mm,
push in ways that are not,
yeah.
what I mean. I do not condone, stand, or agree with any of that. I mean, I agree
No.
with the First Amendment, but not how he's choosing to
Yeah.
exercise it at
Yeah.
times. I do not agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
But LA, because LA, they did try to I guess, prevent that. And it came, that's why the city attorney will explain that we have no choice but to let it go on. So if people saying, well, how's that allowed? Therefore, the city is forced to, just for the public comment part,
Yeah.
to let them say what they have to say. But
Yeah.
I'm trying, like, I want to work with people. I want to build relationships. So
Yeah.
I'm always telling him, hey, it's not that I don't like it, whatever, but like, people want to
Mm,
support you in because what you're saying, there's a lot of good stuff you're saying,
yeah.
like you're fighting for the people. Let's
Yeah.
rein it, so I'm trying to work with him. And but his dog, me, I said with the dog, oh, Dusty, his
Yeah.
dog Dusty, and his dog like loves him. His dog is very comfortable with him, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't think he's a horrible human being. He's a person of color himself,
Yeah.
so he's like self-deprecating, by doing all that, which
Yeah.
um I don't get, but
No.
I don't know. I
But
just
yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, and everyone should have a right to say what they have in their mind. It's just sometimes it may become a little bit too unfiltered, or
no
Uh,
doubt. But I'm
but
trying to work with them because I'd rather him grow. Like I want to encourage him to
yeah,
use his voice in a way where he'll be heard. Because he's
yeah,
throwing out almost of
absolutely.
every meeting.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Which brings to another person. There's a lot of personalities. So if you want to see like the different variety of people living in LA area, check out these videos, because you will, for example, meet the goat puppet guy
oh
as
yeah,
well.
that's another one. Yeah, I know. I have a story about him, but I can't reveal it yet because I got to tell him first. Um,
Okay.
but he's like, yeah, he's a definite character. Again, another one that to me goes way over lines that I don't agree with. I do not
Yeah.
condone. I don't like it.
So he
But
he, he comes with this plush toy puppet every time.
yeah, and that's based on Paul Krikorian. Like he,
Okay.
so like I got that story. It's a shame though because it didn't. The audio was horrible, so I couldn't, because I have that whole story on how that happened. Now Paul Krikorian just left. Now but that's how that started, and so he does come with the plush toy. There's times he speaks without it, but he's been doing this for many years, like maybe I don't know, 15 years or more. And
Okay.
but the goat puppet part just kind of you know, was became like a genesis, and it kind of grew. And yeah, but but he also knows a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's very, so for them not listening to him, but they're also very scared of him. Like they've
Yeah.
tried, I heard they've gone after his license, his bar license, because he's a lawyer,
Yeah.
like many, many, many times, many.
Yeah.
Uh, they have a level of a fear of him, I think,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's not just speaking, but he's really an antagonist. So for everyone thinks that they're not taking him seriously. Oh, they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really are. He's one of the ones that, trust me, they take him very seriously,
Yeah.
and they don't
And
like it.
he knows exactly where the line is drawn, so he will not
Yes, and
go across that for sure.
right, he knows what buttons to push for sure. So, but like I said, I don't condone a lot of what he says either.
Uh,
Now, Shirt Guy tones. Shirt Guy's different. That's another
yeah, church
character.
guy. He's the special guy as well, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't like I don't have to have my finger on the mute button trying to catch, I edited
Mm.
it, but with him he does the singing. If
Yeah.
anyone he'll be up there singing. Beautiful voice and
Yeah.
a great guy. And he's kind of he's curious about what we're talking about with Scientology and and then
Yeah.
there's Sister Paisa. That's the one with the cat, issue that I was talking about. But so there's
Yeah.
all these different characters.
Yeah. Yeah. And shirt guy, he's singing. Is it in Chinese he's singing or
He's
yeah.
singing in Chinese, and I found out yesterday because it's somebody I like. That's why I love chat. Chat's the best because they'll ask the questions. I mean, and they're like, what's he like? What's the words? Is he actually singing anything relevant? And
Yeah.
I asked him, and he says he does. He prepares beforehand. He is writing about whatever. Sometimes it's nonsensical, but it's always he'll be writing like, "You guys are dumb" or whatever. Like, or why can't you fix our city? But he's doing it in Mandarin. And and I already know why he does it. I said, you do it because they cannot call him off topic because we
Yeah.
don't have a Chinese translator.
That's
So
just genius.
it is. He's like an evil genius. I say because, yeah, they can't call him off topic.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny, and it's like, and he has a beautiful voice. And
Yeah.
I love his music. His
Yeah.
singing. So I think it's just a great like for him. I just love that angle.
Yeah. So we would then definitely, yeah, encourage anyone who haven't checked out your live, for example, when you attend the meetings, or Mona's live when we're calling into the meetings, and just yeah, subscribe to both of the accounts so you can see when Audit or Mona is going live, and
Yes.
then think a little bit, chew a little bit on the thought of calling in sometimes, because there's a lot of people that are very excited and following, but I think it just seems to be a really big step to pick up the phone and just call.
Just
And
do it.
yeah, just do it. It's not that scary.
All you have to
It's
do is just say, like I said, real quick. I agree with what everyone just said about Scientology. I agree with that. Please do something. I yield back my time. Like this, that's it, and that's a
yeah,
start. And then
yeah,
you're going to realize, oh wait, I want to say more.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. And regarding the meetings now, do you think there's happening some progress with the public works, with the planters or the permits? Do you have any inside knowledge
I do.
regarding? And
Yes,
can you share anything?
yes, yeah. I know that actually, well, they changed the whole commission. I don't have this as absolute fact, but I believe they changed the entire commission because of us.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of those they redid the board. I know that Corsand, the new president, set up an appointment with I think it was Rivera, or different people on the BSS board to kind of see what he can to have a meeting. I don't have yet the proof of what outcome of the meeting or what was said or
Yeah,
done, but I
yeah,
know he was trying to seek a meeting. I think that's why he remained on the board. I think that's why the mayor kept him because he's trying to resolve things. Um, then I know that because I talked to Rivera, I met Rivera, he's like I guess would be like the chief of police if it was, but with the investigators for BSS. And he
yes.
told me that changes are coming, and we're seeing it, that changes are
Mm-hmm.
coming because they're changing he didn't tell me how they were changing the permits, but they are. And we see now that some of the changes are that they can only get permits from Thursday through Tuesday or through Monday, and it has to be cleared up from Tuesday to Thursday. There's no permits given. It has to be cleared up. So if
Yeah,
they're going to keep doing renewing permits, then they're inconvenienced why these 2 days they have to remove it. It's no longer around the clock, 7 days a week. That's one change.
yeah.
And but I do believe also because we did put in for there is a possible that it's the I can't think of the civil grand jury that may be involved as well
Okay.
and trying to get things resolved. So I do believe there's stuff going on in the background. As
Yeah,
far as the planters, from what I heard, uh, I there's buzz that they're working with them to give them a chance to get their permits. But then I don't know how that's going to work because those like the Bureau of Engineering does not permit wooden planters. So
yeah,
there's not the right material. So I don't know how that's going to go. But at the very least, it needs to be ADA compliant, even if they're allowed a certain amount of time to get
yeah,
their permit.
yeah.
But
Exactly, and the second thing is that you can really see that it would be the same as having some concrete blocks over there. It's not like they are pretty. It's not something that is meant to make the street or the road look more pretty in any kind of way. They're like falling apart, some of them already, and they're
And they're
not
breaking
taken
the
care
street.
of. Yeah,
And they're breaking the sidewalk. The sidewalk has changed, and that one fountain has drastically changed because of it.
yeah, yeah. So it's just to make the protesters' life more difficult over there. That's the
Right, but it's
only
making
reason.
their own people's lives more difficult, and
Yes,
so I don't. So with every time I see Hugo, though, he doesn't look like I know there's something I don't know what it is. That's what I want to get to. Why is he able to get the planters moved down the street on Sunset? He was able to get the city to remove them, but not here. So there's some
yeah,
kind of there's a blockage somewhere. They have, and that comes from the years and years and years of the people like Janet, safe pointing, getting on all the boards, getting on the, because
yes,
you build connections with people, and plus they give a
yes,
lot of money. They've given a
yes,
lot of money,
yes,
and whether that's through their cash donations, maybe they're going through the police,
yeah,
because they don't have, when you go through the police, I can't think the fund, they're 501c3, they don't have to reveal who gives them the money,
no,
but it
and
doesn't mean that they don't know.
yeah, and just the emails that Scotty has posted online now in the past 2 days show exactly what type of power they have, where they are basically, trying to direct the LAPD
Oh
uh,
yeah.
directly, and now there's email documentation for it. So I think
Oh, I have that too. Yes, there's with all the CPRAs. Yes, they do, and the city attorney too.
yeah. So it's yeah, I think it's extremely damaging, and that's actually my next question is that what do you think is going to happen in 2025?
I think there's going to be. I think the planners are going to go soon. I do. I
Mhm.
think that they're not going to be able. I think at some level they're either going to put enough pressure on Scientology to say, look, whatever deals with the devil they all have,
Mhm.
it's too much pressure. We need something, some kind of movement. So
Yeah,
I think that is going to happen. I think that I'm hoping that the chief will listen to us. I'm hoping that he's not a plan. I'm hoping that there be more investigations. I think that maybe we need to push for civil, any kind of grand jury type of thing, and push say the chief or the commission to look into things more. Because there's
yeah,
because we're going to get more and more evidence. Like today, DOA, thank God for the evidence that we just got, more evidence of them not, after all that they know about these permits, they're still not doing it correctly. They're still saying that he can't go, and that trespassing, you can't trespass off a sidewalk. So
yes,
this is
and
something.
yeah, and Scientology security speaking over police and trying to give order that which is something that the police has just advised for him to be able to access certain areas, and then a civil person from Scientology comes and tells that he's not allowed to be there.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
but I think also what's going to depend is if I think it's going to take litigation to get through all this. And so,
Mm.
um, anyone because I've had my rights violated, I've put in my notice to the city that I
Mm.
am going to sue for my violation. I've already let them, I already notified them that I plan on suing. So it's going to take other people. I think it's going to have to take a number of lawsuits for
Yeah.
the violations to our civil rights.
Yes.
They're and so I think 2025 depends on how much we do next level. I think 2025 is going to be in the courts.
Yeah, and this is such a great way to just show everyone how multifaceted this activism movement is. And there's been so much talk about what is the right way to protest and so forth. In my opinion, every type of activism is important, whether it's protesting or working, behind the scenes or attending these public meetings of city official. Everything counts. It's all gonna pile up in the end, and we
Yes.
can win this war or whatever you want to call it.
Well, can I add to that? Like, I don't believe there's a right way or a wrong way to protest. I think
Yeah.
everyone who wants to get involved, you have to
Yes.
figure out who you are, what your strengths are, what you can
Yes.
bring to the table, and then be your authentic self. Figure
Yes.
out who you are. Because if I'm like, if I'm understand that the meetings more, and that's more what my world is, and I understand, doesn't
Yes.
mean I can't go and stand behind in front of a building with a poster and that's not my strong suit. That's not,
Yes.
that's somebody else's strong suit. That's like other people are really good at that, then they should
Yeah.
be doing it. That's not where I'm good.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm more comfortable with what I'm doing, and so there's no right and wrong way. And even if you don't want to be vocal or in person, like there's some people, like I know people too who they kind of are afraid to go out in public doing it because
Yeah.
of the retaliation. They may have a job to protect, but they're working behind the scenes. They'll maybe do emails or other things. And
Yeah.
how's that any
Exactly.
less important? Or doing CPR,
Exactly.
whatever you can do.
Exactly. And I hope you agree with me, but it seems like the LAPD, the police force, is taking a little bit of distance to Scientology, and they're not just dancing on their pipe all the time regarding, for example, arrests. What was going on in the spring versus what is going on now. And they seem to be respecting the protesters a little bit more.
I absolutely agree. We went to the OIG, the Inspector General. We had a meeting with Mona, Serge, and Michael and I. We had a meeting with the OIG,
Yeah.
and we brought all these. This was back in May, so it was since then. It seems to me that they at least stopped doing the overtime
Yeah.
work with, but now today I'm concerned because today they're doing overtime work again. So I'm kind of curious why that's happening. That's why I
Yeah.
want to get all the numbers and stuff, because I'm going to ask, like, what's happening? Why all of a sudden are you back to doing this? But I
Yeah.
do see also like a more of a respect or more of an understanding, and
Yes.
there's definitely a change. And I
Yes.
think hopefully that will grow.
Yes. Should we take the comments now? We've been going on for over an hour
Sorry,
already.
sure. And I can't read any, so sorry. And hi to everyone in chat. I don't even.
Yeah, hi everyone in chat. I think there's so many comments. I probably can't even, say. I'll say hi to everyone jointly and just look at the start comments here that Fluffer has helped me with. Sue Herman, she's become a member. I have just started my membership. I have an honorary Viking
Oh, I love that.
membership. Yeah. So thank you so much, Sue. And I can see Mona is here with the Scientology Crimes account saying, "Oh, my
Oh,
sister."
I know she's mine too. I love Mona, man.
Yeah.
It's the great, and that was just, yeah, we worked together for like from for a long time now, and it's for me, it's really been awesome. I love
Yeah.
what she's doing with the new channel. I think it's amazing what she's doing with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's really important to have. So I can just shortly mention it. There's a Scientology Crimes channel. I don't know if someone in the in the chat, if one of the mods can maybe post up the link to the channel, because the hope is to reach million subscribers to the Scientology Crimes account,
Yeah.
and it's pure fact over there. So there's not going to be any kind of conspiracy theories or any kind of drama. It's just, 100% facts, all the crimes of Scientology, and there's new videos coming almost every day right now, I think.
And people love true crime, so you can
Mhm.
you can reach the true crime people, the true crime buffs that don't
Yeah,
know anything about Scientology.
yeah, I totally agree. And Anne has also joined the
Oh, I love
membership.
Anne. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's some really amazing people in this community, and it's funny because I never even seen their faces, but I really hold them dear to my heart as well.
same.
Yeah. And Anne is also saying, I remember when Audit first showed up, she was so quiet, and now look what she does. What a warrior.
Oh, that's like yeah, I was never accused of being quiet. Like back, but it was there. I was quiet. Yeah, I just did. I did. It was like a hard situation for me because I felt like I had to balance my private and
Mhm.
public life, and I was very concerned about the ethics and making sure I'm not treading on any lines. I
Yeah,
even went as far as going to the city attorney, making sure. So, but
yeah.
yeah, I was very quiet for a long time.
Yeah, but you were not doing anything wrong. You were just showing up and documenting. And especially
Yes.
at that time, it was really important to document because there was a lot of assaults happening
Yes.
in front of the testing center, and the police was not reacting on it.
Hmm.
So,
I agree.
yeah. And SJ is here. She's commenting that I work and live next to a university. And ever since I started watching AuditLA, I've become a stickler for making sure our sidewalks are ADA compliant. these students'
Oh,
lack of awareness big time.
I
Yeah,
love it. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Yeah,
yeah,
because there's so much people don't realize. Like even bike, I would say, "Wow, I never realized how much ADA issues there are until I
yeah,
go with you." Because it's just yeah. So thank
yeah,
you for doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that's also something that can be jointly. I've also addressed it on some of the meetings because I think it's really weird that there's going to be Paralympics in like 4 or 5 years,
Yeah,
and clearly the city is not ready for
they're
that.
not ready for even just the Olympics. I don't even know
Yeah,
how where the it's gonna. We're gonna see how this works because I don't know how it's gonna work.
yeah, and with a budget deficit and having this type of investment, it sounds absolutely insane. But they will make it happen for sure, one way or another.
Right.
Yeah. Peter is here also.
Hi,
He's
Peter.
asking, he's asking who vetted
Oh my
Janet
gosh.
Wieland.
That's so funny. I exactly. That's a great question, Peter. Because yeah, they all get vetted because nobody they don't want to see that what it is. They don't want because that's what they do best. We had to give Scientology any props. It'll be this. They know how to have the public facade, which makes them look like saints. She's the Reverend Janet Weiland or whatever Whelan, whatever her name is. And so you don't look behind the doors because it's like
Yeah, yeah,
that's how that works.
yeah, yeah. And SJ is just confirming that the CPAP was created to improve relations with community residents and police officers following the 92 Rodney King beating incident.
Yes, I knew it was after one King. I thought it was after Rodney King, but I wasn't 100% sure. But yes, it was. It was because the LAPD gets a lot of oversight, and that was
Yeah,
to help bring
yeah,
community policing
yeah,
to
yeah.
after the
And
Gates years.
yeah, and Marcy's here saying that cops should be protecting people from cult of Scientology.
Preach it,
Yes.
preach it, Marcy. Absolutely. But and I'm not trying to be, in all fairness to police. I mean, I think there's cops that they do know because I think they're Scientologists. I think Hollywood Division. I think they know. I think a
Yeah.
lot of them are Scientologists, but I think a lot of cops don't really know
Mm,
because they see all these front groups, they see all the things that they how they promote themselves because they're genius. They're the best PR people on the planet,
yeah.
maybe.
Yes.
And so they really don't know. It's taken. That's why I don't get angry with them or even with public work, any of these, because it's going to take time of unsafe pointing, their
Yes.
safe pointing. And we just,
Yes.
it's the long game and patience, but it's going to get there.
Yes. It's just frustrating because, with a single Google search, you could find out in 5 minutes what's going on. So it's,
Yeah. But, but then there's like the Google search and then there's like, well, these people are always working with us. They're always doing these, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Mhm.
they have to have that, it's something, but it's okay. We're going to keep bringing it to them. And
Yeah.
it's funny. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw. Remember that young officer when I was protesting back at at the main building, and I was trying to get through, and I
Yeah.
talked to him. He was like a really nice young cop. I just bumped
Mm,
into him yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, I remember you," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I
yeah.
hope you still keep listening, and looking further into what the Church of Scientology does." So it's like building. You just keep continuing it. He goes, yeah, he goes, thankfully we don't have anywhere in his division stuff like
Yes.
that. So it's just keeping that conversation going.
Yes. Yeah, I
Reminding
feel
him.
like you're kind of like our diplomat, our anti-Scientology, what is it called? Uh, what do you call it? Now I lost the word. Ambassador. In
I love it. I'll
ambassador
take that, Rod.
in the city hall and in the community. You take care of the relationship, and we can
That's
be
right.
naughty in the
Yeah,
background.
no, I love that because the naughty's needed, but like, and so it's all needed. That's what I mean. Everyone has to figure out what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Every element, like a diamond has many facets, but it
Yes.
all works together to to bring the bling.
Yes.
So
Yes. I agree. Uh, and Anne is saying also that Fat Grammy audit are fire in this movement. Love those
aw.
ladies who do the work.
Aw. We love you
Absolutely.
guys too. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, thank you for that. But it does get contentious. It's like even if you're trying to be diplomatic and stuff, sometimes you have to be a little, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
contentious.
Yeah. And Amy's here. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Oh, she's like here. There's another one that
Yes. Yes.
started off like and then just like wow. She's like the things she's
Yeah.
saying is so funny. Stop
Yeah.
culting. Stop culting. Stop. What is it? How's it? Stop culting being culty. Stop.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love it. I'm gonna
And
steal it. No.
Yeah, and bye.
Yeah, and
End
oh,
of
I love that. I know. Bye. That was so funny. You know.
Yeah, but she has. Think she has a great sense of humor, and
Yeah.
she's using it with the balance, with the frustration and the anger for things not working. So
But
she's
then she's
amazing.
also our nurse because like she's like, do you have
Yeah,
your water? Do you have your inhaler? You know, so I love that
yeah,
about Amy because it's
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
yeah.
I'm trying to make this quick now because I can hear that your voice is starting to get a bit suffering. With
I'm okay for right now. I'm okay.
You're okay. Okay, good.
I'll let you know if
Uh,
I have to go. I'll be like, I just gotta go. You know.
Okay, good, good. Just say that. Uh, she's saying that Janet was at DA swearing in Nathan Hockman. That
I confronted her. I sorry for the plane. Yeah, I
uh,
confronted her,
yeah,
and so was Francois was there too.
yeah,
Francois Coster was there.
yes, yes. She's hanging on the last threads, I think, Francois Costa right
Yeah.
now. So
But
she's
that's when Janet's like trying to send the hounds of hell against me after that one. But
yeah,
oh
yeah.
well.
Yeah, and Lara is saying that they're about to go and protest the New Year event. That's Rhine Auditorium. AuditLA, will we see you there?
I wish you're gonna see me in your chat. I wish I could, but so you'll see me there, but in your chat, because yeah, I need to rest up over.
Yeah,
Like yesterday, I came home feeling really bad. I was feeling really bad.
yeah, yeah. But it's
And
also a hard day's work. The meetings. First of all, you're traveling there with public. What is it called, with the train, and
transit, and
then
that's like 3 hours in total. It's like it takes her like about an hour and a half.
yeah, and what, 8 hours at the city hall or something like that.
Sometimes
It's
like around 6, but then you're also talking like because I'm a talker. Like I don't want to sit there
yeah,
and so I'm talking the whole time, trying to interact, think, deal. Look at keeping your head on a swivel. It's just a lot. It takes a lot. Yeah, I'm exhausted at the end of it.
yeah. Can I ask you about Bike Guy? I'm a little bit curious. Is he just a friend or?
I guess we've morphed into more. I mean, that's how it all started. We start off with the neighborhood council stuff, and because don't and just because it started off with that with a bunch of quirky characters
Yeah,
with on the neighborhood council level, and I became friends with most of them. One passed, but then Bike Guy, yeah, him and I have just been. I don't know how to explain Bike Guy and me.
yeah,
We're like, he's like
yeah,
my other half, but it's different. It's not like I don't know. I can't explain it.
yeah.
It's just Bike
Okay.
Guy. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, we're more than friends. But
yeah. That's nice.
he's
That's
my
nice. But he's
yeah.
always looking out for you also, as
Yeah,
long as you
he is.
feed him, right?
Yeah, it's not to feed him, but like he can't do days. So like right now the schedule doesn't work. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Amy is also, she's been working today saying, I tried calling Shriner Auditorium.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And they won't answer their phone and their voicemail is full.
But that's
Yeah.
good that the voicemail's full. That gives me encouragement.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Monday, I guess. I know everything's on the weekends. When you can't get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's okay. But you know what? It's okay. Like I don't sweat it out because I mean, when I was watching this morning, DOA he's smart enough to know that even if it was a bad arrest, that if they get a chance, they would do it because they have immunity. So they don't mind bringing you in, arresting you. They can kind of, oh, I didn't know about the permit type of thing. And then, but
Yeah.
you're sitting in jail until Tuesday, So he was smart to pull back, when,
Yeah.
not, and but he got the footage we needed to show
Yeah.
that they're absolutely not that they're violating rights regarding these permits. So
Yeah.
it was
Exactly.
perfect.
Yeah, and no one was there to present the permit to him either. So what's that? How can you just tell people to go away and you have no documentation to show that you can just trespass people because there's an event?
Well,
It's
that there's a little, I think, loophole that needs to be fixed with that. Because from what I learned so far, I think that they have to provide the permits to the police officers, not
mm,
necessarily to the public. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to get that absolute word on that.
mm,
Um, but the police are supposed to know that page 2 is that it's not for pedestrians. It's only for vehicles that
yes,
even if you have a closed sidewalk, and this is for any event, and I have proof from the city attorney that they are standing behind that
yeah,
they cannot prevent pedestrians unless it's an emergency. Now, if it's a crime scene tape and the police are saying this is an
yeah, of
emergency zone,
course.
then you
Mm,
can't go through. But
yeah,
otherwise, he has a right to go through. You don't have a right to necessarily stay, but you
mm,
have a right to go through.
Yeah.
And for them, and he and DOA knows what he's doing. That's why he
Yeah.
got him on. That's why he kept asking him, "Am
Yeah.
I trespassed 100 times?" Because
Yeah.
you cannot trespass from a public sidewalk.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yes.
At least in that not in that context anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe with the restraining order, you can't go here. That's different. But
Yeah.
you can't. A cop cannot trespass you from that. So he got that evidence for us. That's what I mean. The people with the evidence that helps.
Yeah.
And so that cop's gonna. So now he has like he likely won't be able to sue the cop necessarily personally unless he can get revoke
Mhm.
the his immunity, qualified immunity, but he could definitely sue the police department at this point, the city. So they keep
Yeah.
or just keep exposing themselves by being
Yeah.
stupid like this and not training their people or not doing something about this. They're exposing themselves to lawsuits. But I think what they think is that we're never going to do it,
Yeah.
that we're all talk and no walk, so
Yeah.
we need to actually do the next phase, and everyone who's had their rights violated
Yeah.
maybe should consider. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you have to. I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not a lawyer, you know.
Mhm.
But we may want to consider that being the next step.
Yeah. You could say almost that they're gonna find out about us, right?
Yeah. Well, you only have 6 months though too. If you're going to
Yeah.
sue the city for a violation, you only have 6 months to notify the
Mm.
city of your intent to sue, or
Yeah.
of the claim of damages.
Yeah.
And the claim of damages being your right, your amendment right to be violated. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
only have 6 months.
Yeah. Then we have one of our European activists, Brigitte. She's commenting, I love watching AuditLA at all the meetings, especially when she tells them they are not respectful when they don't look at her.
Oh, thank you. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it goes with kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it's like I don't want to say motherhood in me, but it's just, it like manners or whatever. For me, it's
Yeah.
just part of the banter and the interaction.
Yeah.
And they really don't mind. Like, actually, I don't even know if I was on camera at that point when Imelda, Miss Padilla, came up to me and she did give me my apology, because I'm going to hound them till they
Yeah.
apologize for when they personally do something. And she goes, I actually appreciate that you hold us accountable. And
Mm.
and she's been really, really nice to me. Like, she says, I had to take the elevator too. I had, like, she has a form of a disability, I think. And so for me, it's just the banter, it's just,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Uh, then we have a comment from Antics also. Good to see you here.
I love antics too. All these
Yeah.
same people, I know though. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. With parking being such a premium, how are they able to have their street parking free? It's ridiculous. Mad respect for both of you. Thank you for your hard work and dedication.
Okay. Well, I'm finding out that, as far as I know, I have no proof of that it's a legitimate red zone. That
Yeah.
I also have proof that they've been accused of painting it themselves, and that's why I'm going to the DOT as well, the at LaDOT, to try to find proof. Somebody told me that they may, after a couple years, it may just of having a red zone there, it may be that there automatically becomes one, but I don't have proof that that's true either. So I'm on that case, because I agree, parking is a huge premium, and they keep taking parking away with that and with the
Yeah.
street closures.
Yeah. Yeah. And Amy is also saying that it's exciting to call into the meetings.
Yeah, right. It is.
I
It's
agree.
exciting
I
to go
agree.
in, and to go in, call in. It is. It's because, you know what, you're taking your power back. And I
Yeah.
don't care if people live here. Like I said, like, even if you don't live here, whatever, you have a vested interest. Because you're following what's going on. You support the people here. The boots on the ground, and so you do have a vested interest in this town. And plus, aren't we all global citizens in a sense anyway? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
Scientology's here. So if you're fighting Scientology and they're here, that makes you, you belong here.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Swedish Lena is also here saying all of the all of the ladies and very few men are absolutely 100% amazing every single week, showing up in person on Zoom and via phones to all meetings. Your compassion and strong communications are on point.
Well, that's great. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, for me, I don't want to be always there in antagonism. Even if they're wrong and in the wrong, like, I'd rather try to take a loving approach and try to work with people and try to understand where they're coming from, but to educate or to help them grow to the next level. That's just
Yeah.
me being me.
Yeah.
And but not that I discount the people that come in and yell and like, oh, your Pinocchio noses are going to be from here to Timbuktu in a week, and Amy or any of that. I love that too.
Yeah.
And there's times I mean, I'm not saying I would never do that approach too either. I have. I mean, I have
Mm,
video of me like being really harsh too with people, but
mm.
with this, with here, because I'm going in person, I want the long game of you know
Yeah. Yeah.
building relationships.
Yeah. Exactly. And Mona is saying it's absolutely it's nice doing it on Zoom because you're behind the screen, and yeah, it gives a little bit a sense of security when you're not showing your face out there. I wanted to also add on this
True.
that it's always a useful skill to have to be able to speak in public, and the only way to get better with it is actually doing it. So the more you do it, the more better you get with it, and you can use it in so many different instances in your life as well.
Oh yeah, it's critical, and for some people, they're afraid of the clock, but they're like they're upset, like it's not enough. Like they should give you more time, but you'd be surprised when you're up there talking. 3 minutes can seem like forever. There's times I'm like, oh, what else can I say? Because I want to fill every second, and there's other times where I wish I had more minutes. So it depends, but for
Yeah,
me, it's kind of good. It teaches you by having the constraint. It teaches you how to say the most in the least amount of time.
yeah,
You know,
exactly, exactly.
it's a good skill builder.
Yeah. Uh, Fluffer is saying if you feel nervous to call but would like to help, anyone and everyone can email to help shut down Scientology in Denmark. So we also have something going on with the politicians here where we have created an email template that anyone can send to any Danish parliament member and request the investigations on Scientology's abusive practices. So there's some examples of the kind of issues that there is in Denmark, and anyone can send it from anywhere in the world to them. And
I
yeah,
love that. And you could
yeah,
probably take like the basics and change a little, tweak it a little bit for your
yeah,
own area as well. That's what people
yeah.
can do. You send it to Denmark, and it's like, well, my country, what can I tweak a little bit to send it to
Yeah,
our people?
yeah, exactly. The background a little bit here is that some of the politicians have promised to take action. So this is a little bit of a group
Great.
pressure right now. So there's been over 1,000 emails sent already, and I'm hoping there will be at least 1,000 more to the
I'll get on
different.
there and I'll do it too. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's. I
my
mean, even
pleasure on
just
Twitter.
one mail to one person, that's already making a little bit of a difference. So I'm, yeah.
And if there's any other fiery people that want to be able to say, but they don't want to put their face out there, their name out there, go on Twitter. I mean, well, X it's called right now, and get an account, and and just because you can tag everyone. And
Yeah,
so I'm just got on to, because I used to do, I don't really like X too much, but I got on, so I'm not really doing too much on it yet, but I want to grow on that too, because you can just like you could take a clip. Well, I had to get the blue check thing so I can do clips and all that stuff. I had to, you can do more if they, of course, they charge you for all that, but you
yeah,
can send the video of the abuse that's going on, and then
yeah,
tag the police, all these different
yeah,
things,
yeah,
and then a lot of other people see it, and then people respond, and they share it. So
yeah,
that's another avenue people can get, and just do an anonymous account.
yeah. And exactly, like not everyone is, physically able to even attend the meeting. Like you are able to go there. Thank God for that. But some people might be, bedridden, and that doesn't mean
Mhm.
that you can't do anything. You can
Right.
always do something for a change.
And also like time schedule, like that's one thing I don't like. I wish city council, they have 3 meetings. One of them should be at night. So people who
Yeah,
work days could attend at
yeah,
night. They
yeah,
would have more variety, but I don't think they're really interested in hearing what the public has to say. So they're not working hard to
yeah.
rectify that.
Yeah, that's also true. And Amy is saying that calling in lets me get the stuff off my chest because I can't be at org to protest.
There you
So
go. Yeah,
yeah,
that's perfect. And Amy's
yeah,
doing great, and she's just so
yeah,
firm. And
yeah,
yeah,
exactly, exactly.
it just takes the first time. It's just like, just do it once. Just get on there.
Yeah,
That's my challenge, and I don't care if it takes away my abilities. I don't care, because I used to see, whatever. Just call,
yes,
and and even if you have to hang up, like, even if you change your mind, whatever, you're just taking a step.
Yeah.
Baby steps, whatever it takes. Just
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. Just 1 or 2 sentences and,
Yeah.
just hang
Write
up.
it down. Just write it down
Yeah,
and read it.
yeah, exactly. Uh, Antics is saying, I'm not sure what this hat means. Maybe it was at one spot they let water run for 48 hours straight. And when they put in the planners, it broke up the sidewalk terribly. Yeah,
I almost got flipped out of my chair because of that. And then I got
yeah,
stuck in the grass because the one thing is part is so broken that they do, the kids on skateboards do their jumpies off it. I couldn't get over it, so I went into the grass and I got stuck. So
yeah,
it's so bad that
yeah,
the fact that they are just neglecting it. But I do have because of it, here in the city, you could do an ADA case on it. I do have my
yeah,
own ADA, but to have that repaired.
yeah,
But that's a 6 to 10 year waiting list to have the sidewalks repaired in that
yeah.
lawsuit.
Yeah, and it comes again to this that I always try to avoid saying, but I often think about it. What has to happen before things change?
Someone has to
Whether
get
it's
hurt.
in
Hmm.
whether it's in ADA compliance or the way that the police is acting. Does someone need to get hurt before there's a change? I really hope it's not going to come to that.
I hope not either. Or it's either someone has to get like it seems like change doesn't happen until A, if someone has to get hurt, or B, it costs them a lot of money.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of lawsuits right now. Like you look at the city council, they put them all behind closed doors, so you never really hear about them. But when
yeah,
you look at the agendas, guys, look at the agenda for the city council and look at all the lawsuits. So many of
yeah,
them have to do with sidewalks or police.
yeah, yeah. And Fluffer is also saying that it really does all count. Variety and diversity is our strength.
I agree.
Yeah,
A
I
hundred
have to.
percent.
Yeah,
But yeah, just and I love the bullhorn with the poster, standing outside, chanting, whatever, arm in
yeah,
arm. That's perfect. But so is advocating to your local people or your
yes,
politicians. It's all work. It should all work together. Because nobody should be. I hate seeing where it says pitting people against each other in that sense.
yeah,
Like why
yeah.
why can't we all be and you don't have to call me a protester, that's fine. Maybe
No,
what I do is being an advocate or an
yeah,
activist or whatever. So you can change the name title, that's fine.
yeah,
But to say that one way or another is more it's all
yeah,
effective, and especially if you put it all together.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I heard those divisive things too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like
And we
it.
don't all need to be friends, but we can still,
Yeah,
respect each other and what we
absolutely.
do. And also, you can reach a different type of community of people than I can. So I think it's just the strength that we are as many as
Hmm.
possible.
And
We
vice
don't need.
versa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Katrine is saying, protest your own way. It is for the kids and elderly abuse to stop. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. And
Absolutely.
for me too, another thing for me is it's to get the kids, to help the people, but also I can't stand corruption.
Yeah,
And the fact that how much of a hold that's why I got really passionate and started going in person downtown, no matter how, even though it's 3 hours away or whatever, is because when I see the hold that they have over this city
yeah,
and the political power that they have, that they can't remove these planners, because I was shocked it went this long.
yeah,
Like that is another thing, the corruption.
yeah,
It
yes,
has to stop.
yeah, I agree. Ice to See is saying, two of my favorite anti-Scientology women. I think you're both wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Ice to see.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
I
Thank
love
you so
chat. I
much.
always shout out the chat because I think chat, they're the best detectives. They're the best
Yes,
encouragers. They're amazing. And like to me, they're the wind beneath the wing. Like if we're out there doing it, they're the wind that beneath the wings that helps us to get there, because it's not
yeah,
easy to do this stuff.
no,
And so to
no.
have that support and love and encouragement, it means so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I also I'm partly sometimes streaming from home, and then I'm trying to protest also. Like I try at least once a week to be present at one of the orgs. Yesterday I was most of the time alone, and I didn't really feel alone because I had the chat with me, and they
Exactly.
were all cheering me on, and I had some music. There's a lot of good music right now with these AI.
Yeah.
AI songs, anti-Scientology, even Christmas songs that are anti-Scientology
Oh, I
themed.
need
So
to hear more of that because I love that. That is
Yeah,
so
I've made a
great.
playlist, so you can find it actually on my profile now. I have some music
Oh,
there
good.
from,
I would love that.
yeah,
So, like I know. So somebody introduced me to that new AI one. I forget what it's called, Sumo or something. And so
yeah,
I'm like I wrote like a couple of them just for fun. It's just
yeah.
fun to get
Yeah,
these
and
things
it's
out.
so much fun, and it was actually engaging people walking down the street. So I was, dancing with people on the street. I had so much
Oh,
fun,
I
and the
love
chat
that.
was with me the whole time. It was so great. So yeah,
Well, chatting helps me sometimes just get to the train. Like I have to keep a head
yeah,
on a swivel, and it's
yeah,
like I feel safer knowing they're with me. That if something happens,
yeah,
because they instigate violence against you, whatever. And if something happened,
yeah,
I have all these
yeah,
witnesses that are there with me, and just there, just like you don't feel alone, even if you're alone.
yeah, yeah. I
So
agree, and even call help for you if you need
yes,
it.
they could exactly. They know where you are. So yeah, I love chat, and it just become the
Yeah,
best.
yeah. So you are all really important part of the
Yes.
movement, because otherwise, we would be just talking to each other over here if you weren't here
Yeah.
watching.
Yes, and also they're the best detectives. I don't, they are just
Yeah,
amazing detectives.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I love you
I
guys.
really enjoy it. Just have to mention here, Frida has just become a member, and Anne has donated 20 Scientology Up North memberships. Thank you so much.
Awesome,
Yeah,
guys.
I
Thank you. That's
really
great.
appreciate it. That's really
They're
nice.
so
Thank you
supportive.
all. And everyone who I haven't been able to say hi in the chat, thank you so much for participating today, and thank you for having good questions also for audit.
Yes, I'm sorry I can't see it. I don't. I'm not the techie person, so I'm not
Yeah.
seeing chat. But I say hi to all of you, and thank you for even coming and being here with us today.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I think that's all for now. We've been sitting for an hour and a half now, but this is nothing for you for your regular day streaming.
True. Yes, I know. It feels like we just got started, but
Yeah,
true.
exactly. But
But
we need
sorry
to.
for the plates and stuff, but this is why I
Yeah,
always come here. It's just I don't know, I get some privacy. I don't feel like anyone's listening in, and I don't have
yeah,
my dogs barking.
yeah. And we don't have too many skeletons in our closet, I think, also. So
Yeah.
it's. And Susan has also donated 10 memberships. Now you need to stop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's end it for this time. And I would love to have you on my channel again soon if there's going to be any kind of important updates in the local political community in Los Angeles,
Would
just to
love
let
that.
people know what's going on, because yeah, it's really important that everyone knows what the current status is with things
Yes.
happening over there. And if anyone has any questions regarding calling in or needing some tips or whatever, I mean, you're always welcome to email me, or I don't know if you give out your email, or is it?
Yes. It's audit.in.la@gmail.com. I couldn't just get auditla, but I know there's somebody that did ask for tips. I do want to make a video, maybe
Yeah,
just specifically on tips because I want to encourage. I definitely encourage it. Like I said, for this cause, but even just in your own,
yeah,
like the street light that doesn't work down the street, all of it, needs to, get involved. It makes a
yeah,
difference.
yeah,
But I want to thank you too for having me. I really appreciate the invite, and I love it. And I love that I love putting the face to the name and knowing who's calling.
yeah.
And Mr. It was so funny when he told Mr. Knight, it's Miriam, and it was you should see his face. I don't know if I'm so bad with the camera. I got to get better with my camera. Or
I didn't see that, but it was actually Amy who was saying that it's one of her, what is it called? The things that irritates her when people are saying names wrong, and they should be corrected on it. And I said, okay, if I'll have time in my 59 seconds, I will let them know.
yeah, it
So
was funny because I didn't, like, because it's good for all of us to know, but yeah, it's true.
yeah,
Like different, names,
yeah.
like the names. But it was just so funny when I saw his face, and then he corrected it. I was like laughing. I was just like, "This is so good."
We'll have to see in January if he still remembers, right?
Right, that's true. And well, no, Monday.
I thought it was the last one before Christmas.
No. That Monday and Wednesday for sure. I'm not sure about next Friday, but
Okay.
city councils. See, they're separate. Everyone thinks they're all
Ah,
connected. They're not. City council is on break now till January 3rd, I think it is. but Public Works still has next week, but I'm not sure about Friday. But yeah, because Wednesday's their Christmas party. I don't, and also Wednesday for anyone. There's also the Ethics Commission meeting.
Okay.
And so I'm going to try to crash their party. I want to see. I think depending on, I'm going to maybe try because Public Works is having their Christmas party on Wednesday, and then Monday is going to be just the Fire and Police Commission on Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So we can
still
talk about
more
planters again.
opportunities. Yep, there's still a chance, guys. So maybe like call in is the one at the city, so maybe there'd be less people at these because with the holidays. So try it.
Yeah. So if we can make like a Christmas wish, it would be amazing to have at least one new caller next week in those meetings, right? Just
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be awesome. Just one more, and because we're allowed 10 minutes, so there's no with the people that come in. I never see more than, and it's rarely that like Goat Puppet might do it once. Mr. Herman. Sometimes
yeah,
Braille guy. Oh, and then there's the other guy.
yeah.
With his little prop, but there are a bunch of characters.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's just
I
an
mean,
LA thing because it's the
yeah,
same on the neighborhood council level I've seen. So
yeah,
it's just LA.
yeah. There's an entertainment value in these meetings as well. I can promise you that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
yeah. But let's say bye for now. And if you're just
Okay.
hanging there for a second, we end the stream and we can just chat for a couple of minutes after.
Sure.
But for everyone else, thank you so much for joining today and asking great
Thank you.
questions and just being here for us.
I know that you're amazing, chat. You guys are
Yes.
amazing, each one of you. Even just taking the time to watch and you know what I mean? I do. I always give chat my love because
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I never expect anything, and I feel like I
Me
get
neither.
so much from the chat, all the emails and the
Yes.
messages and everything.
and the
It means
info
everything.
and the love.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely,
love them.
absolutely. Yeah. So everyone, have a great Saturday, and I'll see you soon.
All
Bye.
right. Bye, guys.
Bye.